The city of Virginia Beach is not only a desired tourist destination, but has developed into a thriving and diverse community. Over the years, the Department of Human Services has evolved and transitioned through a multitude of systemic changes. In 1938, the Department of Public Welfare was established, and the department maintained and operated under that name until 1971. As you can see, the names and faces have changed, but so have the buildings and the organizational structure.
If I look back over the 30 years that I was in the department, I think probably that was, it was just all constant change. So adjusting to the computer was another thing that we had to learn, and you just had to focus on the benefits.
The good old days were good old days at social services. When I came in 1962, the agency was much smaller. I guess the problems were less complex. The city was smaller. And at the time, Virginia Beach Social Services was known around the state as probably the best agency in the state. In fact, some people jokingly called it the country club of social services. Everybody wanted to come to Virginia Beach to work. And when I was talking to one of the secretaries, and she was saying that when she went to meetings, everybody was grumbling about their agency. And social services, Virginia Beach staff, very proud to be from Virginia Beach.
He was visionary, a visionary person. He decided that it was crucially important for families to include fathers and for the father's role to be accentuated in as much as possible so that there could be a balance within the family. Women had been there for so long, doing the job for so long on their own often. So now to include a father and bring that to a level where two parents work together was his goal. He was able not only to explain the importance of this thinking and this position to the local powers and leaders, but also to affect this change across the state.
As part of our proud past, the department began a transition. It was the transition between the Department of Social Services and the Community Services Board. This transition and merger began in 2004. This was the beginning of an integrated service delivery system.
Each of the departments that had been involved, the CSB and the Social Services Department in particular, had boards that were appointed by City Council with varying responsibilities, and these were citizen volunteers. And so, of course, we needed to work very closely with them, solicit their thoughts, their feedback, their concerns, their interests and preferences. So they were a very important source of guidance to us during that time frame.
As part of the integration of the Human Services Department, the department is proud to have two very supportive boards, the Community Service Board and the Social Service Advisory Board. In 1970, the Community Service Board was established to allow community members to become involved in matters of maintaining and promoting the development of mental health, supporting intellectual disabilities, and providing services to persons who suffered from substance abuse.
When I come annually for the Skill Quest art show and I see someone we're serving standing next to their artwork and they are so happy, they're smiling, they feel so proud, then as a board member, that makes me feel proud about the work that we do.
Had great success in bringing that program, which is a national program, to Virginia Beach. And we've been able to train a lot of our officers, and we've been able to impact the way that they work so that the folks in our community who go into crisis or suffer from a serious mental illness are diverted to proper care as opposed to being jailed for minor offenses, which is really the goal of the program.
I've actually been on the streets the middle of the night and seen officers be able to take and de-escalate a situation. And instead of handcuffing someone and taking them to jail where they don't belong because of their mental illness, they're able to transport them to our assessment center. That makes me proud as a board member to think and know everything our staff did to get that program started, to get the police on board, to work with the training, to set up the assessment center. It's a model throughout the state of Virginia and throughout the country, the relationship we have.
They really were there for me as a support system, also to help me to get settled and get things under control and structured again.
I work in the retail unit, which is one of our work units. At Beach House, we believe that work is one of the greatest rehabilitation tools that we have. So we work on building meaningful work that the clubhouse can't stay open without members participating in the work. And we also build meaningful relationships with each other. So it gives us an opportunity to feel like we're being productive, because we are being productive. We're keeping the program running. And from there, we hopefully all move on to further our education or further our employment goals. When I was a little kid, when I first started thinking about what I wanted to do with my life, my first thought was I wanted to be able to touch people's lives in a positive way. And I've been able to accomplish that goal. I've touched thousands of lives, many who I'll never meet, but by doing these visits to clubhouses, of providing opportunities for people with mental illness all over the world. So it's a great life. Yeah.
In 1978, the Social Service Advisory Board was established to allow community members to become more involved in matters of public assistance. Currently, the Social Service Advisory Board is a strong advocate for persons who are in need of public assistance. They want to ensure that there is public access to all human services.
When I got through the difficulties I was experiencing, I wanted to get involved and make sure that other people had more awareness, more knowledge of what was available, and that there were resources they could reach out to.
Today's families and individuals are faced with such complex issues, multifaceted, multi-layered, and I think that's different than it used to be in the old days. I think the fact that the extended family is no longer there to provide assistance, that many of our institutions that stepped in to help with social service kinds of issues and family disruption are no longer available. And so I think that that's been the most significant change, is that there's much more demand for what we all do individually and collectively, and that the partnerships that we share are much stronger than they were 30 years ago.
Every day is a new challenge. Some you can weather the storm really quick. I lost my EBT card, what do I do? Simple fix. Some, I'm homeless, I have nowhere to go. That can be a little more challenging. I mean, it requires the services that we provide there at Human Services. Sometimes it requires the services of housing. I mean, it's a coordinated effort, so some of those challenges can be simply done, some more complicated.
We're supposed to be here to help support families when they're having hard times, not trying to keep children away, and always to ensuring the safety of the children is first. So I'm really liking the direction in which we're moving. We're moving in a more positive light when it comes to that aspect of working with families, engaging families, and getting these children back to a place to where they're safe, but they're with familiar settings.
Since I began working, I think services to children and families have changed because technology has been embraced more in terms of how we connect with families and coordinate services for them. I think that we are able to not only organize our cases in a more efficient fashion, but I think we're able to keep track of available resources and in many respects to coordinate these services in a more immediate fashion than we used to be able to.
The agency as a whole, I think they're doing exceptionally well with the challenges that we're having to meet every day. It's not easy. It's stressful. It's very stressful. But if there's one thing I've learned, tough times don't last for long, but tough people do.
City leadership has charged the Human Service Department with 3 very important goals: creating a robust, integrated human service delivery system, develop business strategies and practice models that are sustainable, And finally, develop and build strong expertise within the human services workforce.
How do we ensure that seamless service delivery? Well, we do that by working hard on developing and maintaining standards of practice and policies that will ensure effectiveness and efficiency in our service delivery, that will allow us to be flexible and responsive to ever-changing needs in the human services landscape. And then last but not least, certainly not least, it's ensuring that we provide outstanding customer service. And I mean that outstanding customer service occurs when you provide it in a professional manner, in a respectful manner, and in a caring manner. One where a person matters and they know they matter when they meet with you.
The department is focusing on rebuilding and strengthening its organizational infrastructure. This will be accomplished through the following strategies. Number one, creating a culture that embraces engagement, empowerment, and professional integrity. Number two, creating an environment that supports staff competencies and the use of accountability as a way to support and provide exceptional customer service, not only to the community, but to one another. And number three, strengthening program operations and being fiscally responsible, utilizing data as a way to measure program performance, and strengthening working relationships, not only with the community, but with sister departments and city leadership. The Department of Human Services is preparing itself to be a robust leader and innovator in providing human services. In the midst of change, the National Human Services Safety Net is beginning to erode. This will cause more responsibility to be shifted to the local jurisdictions in providing services to the most vulnerable citizens. The department, however, will be positioning itself to be a leader in providing critical services to the citizens of Virginia Beach and the region.
I can see not just the technology, but I can see just the professional workforce that we now have. We are working towards succession planning so that those that have been with us for many years can pass on that knowledge to the new individuals that are coming along. So I see a lot of great things. We will continue to work with the spirit of excellence for our city.
I think my greatest hope for the Department of Human Services is that we continue to innovate, that we think outside the box, that we fight bureaucracy at every turn, that we keep our clients at the center of what we do, but mostly that we continue to evolve in new and innovative ways to meet the needs of those who need us the most. I really believe that creativity and openness and flexibility is what I hope for us most.
My hope for the future of the department is improved collaboration between the various departments. I think we've made significant strides in the past several years in terms of us getting to know each other and the various functions that we have, and I look forward to us being able to expound upon that. Also continue to embrace upon the technology that is available and that will become available.
The state is redoing waiver services, so we're going to see a lot of changes here coming up. Hopefully changes for the better as we have more opportunity to provide more services within the community. We also are looking at people that are beginning to age, so focusing on the needs of people like myself as we get a little older, have a little more aches and pains, helping support those needs as well.
I hope the department will become more innovative in regards to technology and become more welcoming to change. That's very important. Change is happening all around us in this country, and it's important that we embrace it and get on board if we are to succeed.
I'd like to share from you how the management leadership team, which is the leadership of the city, feels about the Department of Human Services and the work that it does. It's foundational and critical and a core service to our community. The work is not easy. It's hard every day. And I hope that all of the members of the department realize how much we respect their efforts, applaud who they are as people, and celebrate the successes that happen on a daily basis. We aren't perfect, and neither are you, but we know you're committed to your work, and we believe in your intent to be best in class. And we will work hard to provide you the resources necessary to ensure that that occurs.